In open play, England were building the game in traditionally back four and England were using sole pivot and that was Falcon Rise. On the paper, England's formation was 4-2-3-1, but on the pitch, England's second pivot was operating between the line like as an attacking midfielder. Iran were defending in 5-4-1 formation in open play. Iran's frontman was always operating central and England pivot was always isolated because Iran's frontman operating central and England pivot having trouble receiving the ball. So in open play, when England pivot was unable to receive the ball, Bellingham dropped in and became the temporary pivot. Now Iran's second line was operating deep, so when Bellingham was receiving the ball in wide areas, he was not under pressure from Iran's player. So when Bellingham was receiving the ball, he had time and space to penetrate Iran's midfield. Generally, Iran's midfield was operating narrow in open play. Iran's central midfielder was ready to press Bellingham when Bellingham was driving the ball into the half space. Now Iran's central midfielder was on Bellingham and Iran's wide midfielder was on England's left back, so Bellingham was being forced to switch the ball. And when the ball switch was taking place, central space was being created because Iran's central and wide midfielder were committed on Bellingham and left back on the left hand side. So when the ball was being switched, the Iranian midfielder were taking time to regain their position and space was being created in the central midfield and Saka was ready to receive the ball centrally. Now in open play, England's left back was operating higher than right back with Mount's position in the half space zone. Iran's wide midfielder was double-minded whether to stay central to cover the midfielder or stay wide to cover the fullback. If Iran's wide midfielder decided to cover England's fullback, England's central midfielder could easily receive the ball between the line. Sterling was engaging Iran's right back and wing back by staying high, so Iran's right back and wing back could not commit on England's midfielder. So the England central midfielder could receive the ball between the line and he had space. As we discussed, England's left back was operating high, so when England's central midfielder was receiving the ball in the half space, there was always option in the wide zone as the left back. Because Sterling was engaging Iran's wing back, the left wide zone was completely open for England's left back, and because of the 0 versus 1 situation in the wide zone, the fullback could easily put crosses into the box. In open play, Iran were in the mid block, so England's player who playing between the line were unable to receive the ball behind Iran's midfield. And you can see here Iran had the number advantage of 5 versus 3 player in the midfield, so England's centre backs were forced to build the game from wide. Now Iran's midfield was central and narrow and operating deep, so when the England fullback was receiving the ball, Iran wide midfielder was ready to press England fullback. Because Iran's wide midfielder position was narrow, Iran's wide midfielder could not block England's fullback passes, and England's attacking midfielder was easily receiving the ball behind Iran's midfield. And on the other hand, England's fullback was ready to push high when Mount was dropping in. When Mount was dropping in, the Iranian wide midfielder was ready to take back Mount, and the England fullback had space in the channel. When the England left back had the ball, the England inside forward was drifting wide to support England fullback. Because Iran's midfield was bypassed, England's inside forward had space between the lines, and the England fullback could do 1-2 with Sterling. If England's fullback could beat Iran's wingback, then England's fullback had space. The position of England's left back was always high in the final third, so due to the high position of the left back, a triangle was being formed on the left hand side between Mount, Sterling and left back. Because Sterling and Mount's position were in the half space, Iran's wing back and wide back had to do narrow defending, and England's fullback was free in the wide zone. Mount and Sterling were holding up Iran's wing backs and wide backs, so England's fullback could easily put crosses into the box, and due to this move, England scored first goal.